hype going on. Got that Blaster Master hype. Hey, what's going on, RGL? I hope. Look at how awesome Retrothon is already. I had so much fun watching it already. I got Blaster Master coming at you right now. This is the Japanese version. I'll explain a few of the differences as we go along here, but I'm going to go ahead and start. Timing starts at movement, so of course I will hit it then. Alrighty, and 3, 2, 1, Blaster Master. Alright. We are getting away on the Blaster Master train, but Retrothon, thank you all so much for coming out so far. This is only part of day 1 of this wonderful 8-day event. It's going to be amazing. I mean, it is amazing. Who are we kidding here? Alright, so Blaster Master, first things first, you saw me pause there. You're going to see me pause in a lot of transitions in this game. As you can see, when I unpause, I'm instantly into the next room. This saves a few frames per transition if you do it fast enough in the overworld, but when you're in the Jason segments, it actually saves quite a bit of time. So that's where we're going to be saving the most time with them. And of course, this game is an adventure style. You got to kind of explore to know where you're going. Completely ignore that not Metroid-looking creature right there. This is a Sunsoft game after all. So we're on our way to the first boss here. Very simple. You can't really progress in this game without getting the right upgrades. So let's go get that upgrade. And of course, these are the Jason segments. You can actually hold A in this game to strafe. I don't know if a lot of people know that. A little interesting controller. It helps on a lot of the bosses, specifically the crab, which we won't actually get to see fight in the normal way during this run. But to explain some of the differences in the Japanese, between the Japanese and the US version, well, I paused way there, like a couple frames too early there. There's less lag in this version, which is very nice. But specifically, this game has infinite continues, which is quite a big boon over the NES version, the US's version. There we go. First boss down. Grind those grenades out with that mash. Get our first upgrade, and away we go. So there's a lot less lag in this version than... Oop, get out of the wall. Well, maybe not a lot, but a little bit. Pay no attention again to the to these, you know, jellyfish of familiar size and shape. Alright, you see our first upgrade here is the, this is not FDID, this is just Famicom. But we see our first upgrade here. We got the upgrade to our tank's launcher, which helps us kill that thing, but so do the missiles. But you can't actually hurt it until you've beaten the first boss. So now we go to Area 2. Of course, one notable thing about this game is it's a Sunsoft game. It's a top 5 Sunsoft game with a top 5 soundtrack. As you may be familiar, Sunsoft made a few amazing soundtracks in their day back in the old NES heyday. This happens to be one of them. I do love the music in this game so dearly. You'll hear it really needing to pick up around 6 and 7. Those areas have the best music, in my opinion. Area 8's kind of like a... kind of setting a mood with that music. Not quite as banging as the rest of the soundtrack, but you'll see it when we get there. But another difference, again, I was mentioning that there are unlimited continues over, I think the US version gets 4-ish or something like that. So that's a big boon. One of the biggest upgrades as well, besides the infinite continues, is the Stage 5 crab boss glitch. Normally in the US version, it would be a 1-frame window in order to get the glitch on that crab. In this version, I believe you have an 8-frame window, and you can just keep pausing and unpausing to get it, which is extremely helpful, because that boss is extremely difficult. Otherwise, definitely the worst boss in the game in the speedrun. If you're not going for the, well, if you're not going for any of the other fun glitches, you're going to see the first glitch. I believe this wasn't a Nintendo Power issue at some point. But, you're gonna see the first glitch coming up here. on the Stage 2 boss. And how to very quick and easy way to kill the bosses in this game. But it only works on the second boss, on the fourth boss, which we don't actually go to at all. We skip Area 4. Area 6 and 7 are the 4 bosses it would work on. Because Area 2 and 4 have the same bosses as Area 6 and 7. They're just harder when they're on later on. Alright, but yeah, as you can see the Jason section, when you pause and unpause, you save quite a bit amount of time in these transitions. We're trying to cut it as close as possible, but if you do it early, you do completely screw yourself out of all the time save you would have had there. Sometimes it's just better to wait just a few extra frames, just in case. But once you play this game enough, you'll get a feeling down for these screen transition pauses. They're not too bad. Alright, so now we got our second boss. Oh my god. So scary. As you see here, we blow up the grenade on its face and just pause the game. Wait for an audio cue, on pause. That's one dead boss. Very easy, very simple. Got our second upgrade to our tank now. In this version, well, you can see it's another upgrade to our cannon. Now it's flashy. In this version, so the story in the US version is pretty notorious. The opening cutscene is that your frog gets out of its jar, runs into a radioactive box that just happens to be sitting in your backyard, and also jumps down a gigantic hole that also happens to be sitting in your backyard. Naturally, these are things that just occur everywhere. But in this version, actually, you're going to another planet to help it out, to save it. I think in Blaster Master Zero, they did a little bit more to actually cover the differences. And I'm pretty sure they had like a couple of shout-outs. It was a really good game. If anybody's thinking about getting Blaster Master Zero for like the Switch, it's really good. Definite approval. Alright, so we're in Area 3. More hopping music. One of the longer areas in the entire run. Area 7 might beat it out. There's a lot of twists and turns and different ways to go here. So we haven't done any like real backtracking through areas yet. A little bit through Area 1. But this game actually has quite a bit of backtracking into different areas. As you'll see. Oops, I did not mean to shoot that, but that's fine. So going back to the story, the first one you gotta save your frog Fred, and this one you gotta save the planet. But another thing to note that this planet is called Sophia in this one, but in the US version they actually named the tank Sophia. So whatever version you may enjoy more, I will always know this tank as Sophia and this game as trying to save your pet frog. Unfortunately, the US version is a lot harder than this version, so we use this version. This version's also faster for another reason I'm going to be showing fairly shortly here. When we get there, I'll explain it. But this version is faster and easier in a lot of ways, which is nice. Alright, gotta avoid these pink... You know, I always thought these things looked like bread, like loaves of bread when I was little. I don't know why. Looking at it now, they really don't. But, I don't know, when I was little, they were bread. Little loaves of bread attacking you. Little evil loaves of bread. Alright, so the missiles we managed to get earlier from those big metal heads before we fought the first boss actually comes really in handy in this stage. Because those things that I was using the missiles for will cause a lot of lag, and if they hit you with one of their explosive pellets, that is 2 health per pellet. It's a little bit damage heavy, unfortunately. Oof, he jumped early. What a jerk. But yeah, the missiles come really in handy throughout this level. And this will be the first time we don't actually have to backtrack in the game. We're going to use... I don't know if it was meant to be an exploit, but for speedrunning purposes, I could definitely use it as an exploit. But Once we beat that third boss, we'll get there. Got a couple more enemies to hit. Little swaggy missile shots here, killing enemies off screen and such. Gotta have swag in your run. That's a necessity. Alright, so we're in the Jason portion of this section. We will always be fighting outside of Sophia in this run. There's no, like, tank bosses, really. Okay, over the US version of this run, we would be taking tons of damage here as we went along. We would be losing lives because we'd want to take a game over. Because when you game over in this game, you do start at the beginning of the area. So that saves a lot of time after you've beaten a boss. Still get to keep your upgrades, but then you just start back at the beginning area, which is rather nice. We'll see if we don't die here. Not a big deal if we die here, but 2 health is cutting it a little close here. Yes, Zero has tank bosses in it. Zero's a great game. I highly suggest picking it up. Alright, this one does have a pattern to it. Ooh, that's close. Oh, baby. Oh, baby! Good boss fight. Alright, and that's done. And now we... Oh my god, what happened? That's right, in this version, when you reset, you keep all of your stuff. So instead of game over abusing and getting back to the beginning, because this is actually where we need to be exactly, we just reset. Makes it really nice. This game technically has a new Game Plus option because of this. But before we go to Area 4, we need a hover. And as you can see the bar over there, we now have the ability to gain hover and use it. That was the upgrade for the Stage 3 boss. That was actually a really nice hover for him. They are random when they spawn, and they are random when they drop hover, so that went really well. Alright, but we need to get up here. You see me taking a little cautiousness as I go out, because if they hit you, you fall, and that's a long way to fall down. Alright, so we made our way up here. Going to Area 4. We're going to say hi and bye to Area 4 very quickly. But we get to stroll through it a little bit. This is my least favorite area in the game, so I've always been happy that the speedrun completely skips this area. You're going to see another glitch coming up. That is in both versions. So you just want to pop a few enemies, reduce lag where you can. Or have enemies spawn that cause lag. Alright, so what happened there is before I left the room, I actually did a left and then a 1 frame tap to the right, or not tap, just left and then immediately hit right before I go into the door, the frame before I enter the door. We're going to abuse that right here as well. What that does is push the screen over a whole, I would say, 16 pixels or so. 8 pixels, somewhere along that line. It pushes the screen over, though. As you can see, I'm slowly pushing the screen over. This is so I can get through here, pause, on pause, and it resets the screen. So we can get past that barrier without having Sophia come down here, the tank, to actually shoot it for you. And the reason we do this, of course, is because we left Sophia behind in Area 4. But we can abuse it to get through here without Sophia. I like it, Shima, I like it. And yeah, we don't have Sophia anymore, and we're not going to reset, but what we're going to do after this one is actually take a planned game over so we can get Sophia back in the end. We do need the tank again, because Area 6 is actually connected to Area 5. It's very close. I'll see it after we fight this boss here in a few. This room has no lag whatsoever. Just lots of things on screen, nothing to worry about here. Alright, final screen before we go into the top-down Jason part, or the Hello Kitty part. People always say he looks like Hello Kitty, because he does. I'll take a few extra damage here. We're going to take a 1 death before the boss. You don't want to take too much heavy damage before entering the next screen. We're on you. And, alright. Shoot me. You need to hit me a little harder than that. But, yeah. take 1 life here. I want 1 as a backup in case I screw up the glitch. It's pretty easy since you have an 8-frame window to just pause and unpause repeatedly for, you know, like 10 or 20 seconds just to make sure you get it. We do want to get rid of these just in case. Alright. So we're going to pause and unpause here until we see a screen change, like that. And then we hold up, and then boom. And this happens. Yeah, it's a little glitchy. Yeah, I'm attacking just a weird cylindrical item. But the crab is down. Because we hate the crab, because the crab sucks. But now we need to die. So we take a couple of quick deaths here before we move on. But yeah, taking a little bit of safe strats there. And now we die, we game over, we continue. We start right at the beginning with Sophia. And then you see our upgrade is to swim through the water. Sophia could not swim through the water previously. But now we can get a nice swimming action and make our way to 6, which is right at the beginning of 5. This is probably my favorite song in the game. I really love the song of the stage. I should just let y'all hear it because it's just so beautiful. It's kind of intense, but kind of like mysterious as well. Oop, almost. Yes, there are ice physics in this section because it's an NES game and it needs ice physics. What platformer isn't complete without an ice physics section? What crab? Yeah, exactly. That crab boss was supposed to be a crab boss, turned into some cylinder instead that we threw grenades at. Made it nice and easy. I love it, because that boss is the biggest pain if you don't have gun upgrades. If you have gun upgrades, it's not bad. But you need gun upgrades, or else you might have a bad time. If you have hover, you can shoot through that hole over there and hover up, but collecting hover takes a lot of time. Definitely waste time. Alright. Shoot here, jump on this. Avoid the mine. Take the safe route because, well, marathon and all that. If you fall down here, you pretty much have to die, or else you have to go all the way back to the beginning practically and do it again. I have no idea how I didn't get hit there, but I'll take it. Hitboxes, questionable sometimes, but you know what? Kinda have to roll with that in the NES. So you're gonna see the first, I believe, repeat boss here in this stage. It is the same as the second boss. It dies the same as the second boss, except this one's like has a nifty little thing. It happens way more in the US version. I don't know if it's a lag thing or something, but there's like a zombie glitch on this boss that when he dies with the glitch, he kind of just sticks around. It'll just keep exploding, but the fight will keep happening, and you can die, I believe. But well, let's hope that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as often on this version, not nearly as often. It was like an every time thing on the US version, which was just a pain in the butt. Let's get our hover missiles out here. Get some lag off the screen. There we go. Alright. Damage is fine. We don't need... We're gonna have another one of those resets coming up here. Oop. There we go. Yeah, you hit down way to the left of the actual door sprite there. I don't know why it's so far off there, but... Yeah. Alright. Area 8 definitely has the hardest area to get through in the entire game. It's gonna be rough. Well, here's hoping it goes well. There's one specific room when we get to Area 8 that is just an absolute nightmare if you don't have hover. Which in any speedrun, you're not going to have hover. You'll have one hover, hopefully, but that's about it. Excuse me. Alright, so we're coming up on the boss now. A lot of spike skips and such. we go. Get position. Perfectly done. Wait for the audio cue. There he goes. It was kind of a slow fade out, but not nearly as bad as the zombie glitch normally would have been. Alright, so we reset again. Sometimes when you reset it, you need to reset again for it to actually go. I don't know why it does that. It's silly, but it happens. Yeah, we reset again, get all the way back at the beginning. Because now we're going to go to Area 7. Area 6, you're going to see the upgrade in a second. It's part of a wall climbing upgrade, which is very nice. 2 hops here. Door transition. Very laggy. The laggier it is, the better it is to actually pause there, by the way. But yeah, we're going to see here. There we go. As you can see, we can climb on walls now. The Cove, that Raisins Runner? You're going to be seeing the Cove soon. Here on Retrothon on RGLtv. Alright, so we're going back to Area 2. That's because the way to get to Area 7 is in Area 2. This is the backtracking I was talking about before. It's kind of listed in the booklet if you're looking, you know, for areas to go in this game. I think there's a at least somewhat useful map in the instruction booklet, so you're not completely lost going through this game. Because you can get completely lost pretty easily. Oops. Wrong way there. Whee! Alright, there's a huge skip in Area 7 I will not be doing. It came in after I pretty much stopped running the game, like, competitively. I play it from now and again for the funsies, and definitely for this marathon, because it's an amazing game, and it's an amazing marathon with a bunch of amazing people in chat. That's amazing. But, when I come back to this game, I'll definitely learn it. It's a huge skip. It skips the entirety of Area 7. It's really good. But you'll see something similar to it when I get to the end part. But yeah, we're going through 7 normally. There's actually 2 ways. There used to be an extremely hard way to, where you had to, like, clip through the walls, and it was a little insane. But the newer way, all you have to do is go to the top right room in the first area, in the very first place when you get here, and it's adjacent top-down area, which is actually connected to the final boss area. But we get to hear the music a lot more in this route, so let's hear it for the music. So good. Just concentrate a little bit. There we go. Alright. Yeah, we get to hear the music much longer, but yeah, you could skip to the boss of this area through the very first Jason area you can enter in the top right room. Top right of the first room. The skip is a little crazy. Requires some pausing and like an additional damage boost over the lava. You're gonna see me taking some damage boost shortcuts here when we get to the Jason area. And it's one that you actually take a double damage boost over the lava, and it's pretty nuts, but it's pretty awesome at the same time. But hell, let's listen to this banging soundtrack in the meantime. Yeah, there's been a couple of... Area 7 has had a lot of work done in it for skips. Like this room that I just passed through, that's the one you use to do the old trick to get to the final area. And we are rolling over. We're almost there. Almost. This room's nice because we'll be able to actually heal a lot of our tank here. Taking a bit of a beating, but these things only take one shot to kill, and there's plenty of them, and they drop a plentiful amount of health. Alright, so we're in the final non-Jason area of this, of Area 7. Looking to get to that meaty frog boss. Ow, ow. Scroll this way. There we go. And, alright, the Jason area. Alright, we're gonna take a skip right here. Skip right here. Oh. Didn't want to skip that soon, it just kinda happened. There we go. This skips a significant portion of this area. This is the old way to do it, by the way. This one you can just hold up. Anybody can do that skip right there. You just hold up. Through the entire transition. Oh, we actually got a frame perfect one there. Alright. This one's a little harder to line up. But you are safe behind him. From hitting him, at least. Oh, baby! First try! And audio cue complete. We'll get our last upgrade for Sophia. Which is another wall climbing thing. We actually need to die in this area now. Which, thankfully, there's a quick way to die. Yeah, we don't reset here, we die. That was the same pause glitch as earlier virus. It just applied differently there because I had to wait for the mouth to open at a specific time. Alright, we're going to make our way to Area 8. Basically how those bosses work, if you pause at any time they're being damaged, no hover there, that's unfortunate, you will kill... Oh my god, now you're seeing the greatness of the second wall upgrade, by the way. It will continuously damage them until you unpause the game. Swag! But yeah, the Wall 2 upgrade, now we can walk on the ceilings, or roll on the ceilings. It's actually incredibly annoying to do it well. I can't really translate how bad Wall 2 really works in this game. It's really wonky. I love the idea, and they do it much better in Blaster Master Zero, but I mean, you know, that's 20 years later, 30 years later. But it's a real pain in the butt. Alright, so we get to roll across the ceiling here. Nice safetiness. We also get to just loop around here now. Okay, one more chance for a hover. We're needing one hover for a safe jump in the next area. We did not get it. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. So I'd probably at least die once, if not. It depends. The spike room is pretty dang difficult to get through. But this is Area 8. You cannot get here unless you're playing the PAL version. PAL version has zips and all a bunch of crazy stuff in it. But in the Japanese and the US version, you have to have both walls. Thus, you must kill everything. But here we go. The final area of the game. Spooky. Very spooky. No, hover's going to really suck in this next part. Oh, good lord. I need full health at least. This room right here is almost impossible to do the jump on. Right there. That room is incredibly difficult and annoying. So we're going to take a shortcut here. And here's the notorious room. I could try to get through without dying, but fat chance. Especially since I'm already low on health, but we'll give it a try. Alright, you know what? You're annoying. Get out of here. Alright, good first jump. Oh wow, we got a lot of good health there. Dang. Alright, that actually went extremely well. I mean, much better than I was expecting. First try, baby. First try. That's a little bit of lag. These skulls in this room hit really hard. You do not want to hit them. You do not want to hit by them whatsoever. Alright, we're rolling on the ceiling. Yeah, we're pretty good to get to the last boss at this point. Stroll into the finish. Whew. Nice rainbow jump there. Alright. Doing the high road here for a reason. There we go. Alright, final area. Sophia tank is finished. We're going to the last bosses now. First boss is interesting. We actually combined pausing and grenades to get through it fastest. That was really nice. Alright, final boss. You gotta mash that grenade! You can't stop! You gotta mash! You gotta mash because your life depends on it. Just keep mashing! Don't give up! Must kill boss, save frog! And time. And that's Blaster Master. Amazing game I grew up with. Never actually beat it as a child, but I beat it when I got older, and it felt so good. The music's amazing, the gameplay is so much fun. You gotta take it for its glitches like you do a lot of NES games, but it's an amazing game. I love every single time. It's so good. Thank you all for the GGs, wonderful people. Thank you for coming to Retrothon. I can't thank you enough. This event means the world to me and the RGL staff. So thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and continue that marathon now.